What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Steve. I'm back at it again, and today I'll be showing you guys my bone necro on Diablo 4. So I'm gonna go over my talents, skills, paragon board, and some items, and show you how strong the bone necro is. So let's dive in. So first, starting out, I'm gonna show you guys some gameplay. Alright, so now we're gonna go over the items. For the helmet, I use Deathless Visage. The main reason why I use this is because it adds armor, a good amount of physical damage, and a lot of critical strike damage with bone skills. And the essence is a big plus. The bone spear leaves echoes behind as it travels. That's just some nice little extra damage. It's not huge, but it definitely helps. For the armor, I went with an armor that adds bone skill damage. You can also get an armor that adds physical damage and bone skill. I'm still looking to replace this. But you want bone skill damage, physical damage, damage reduction, and max life. That's kind of what you're looking for. And the aspect I used was when damaging an elite, you gain a barrier up to 4,781. It's totally up to you if you want to use something like that. For the gloves, these are pretty good. I used attack speed, critical strike chance, for the bone spear, and critical strike damage with bone skills. These are pretty solid gloves. For the aspect, I used the ossified essence key passive. This is one of the best passives I find for Necro, because the increases the critical strike damage of your bone skills by 1% per essence above 50 up to 40%. So as long as you're above, you're getting a 40% damage increase. It's pretty nice. And for the pants, I went with damage reduction, armor, max life, and it has for the blood mist. Now I went with the imprint. As you attack, your armor increases up to 50%. It's pretty nice to have. Bone Spear Necro is more of a glass cannon build, so having some defenses really helps. Stops you from getting like 1 or 2 shot. And for the boots, we went with intelligence, dexterity, essence cost reduction, and movement speed. Now, the imprint I use, Blood Mist triggers corpse explosion on surrounding corpses. When Blood Mist detonates a corpse, its cooldown is reduced by 0.5. Now, I only use this as to help reduce the cooldown on Blood Mist, just in case you're in a sticky situation, you're able to survive long enough, you'd be able to get another Blood Mist off quick if needed to. And for the weapon, we used vulnerable damage, critical strike damage, and now the weapon already has critical strike damage on it, so it has 52.5 plus 46.5. So that's huge, and the vulnerable damage on it is huge. When you have a weapon that adds 2 of these, your damage increase is huge. Now I went with the aspect, Bone Spear's primary attack makes enemies hit beyond the first vulnerable for 3 seconds. Bone shards from Bone Spear deal 125% bonus damage to vulnerable enemies and pierce them. Now, this is the Codex power. I did have a weapon beforehand that had the perfect imprint for 5 seconds and 225%. That's ideally what you're looking for, something a bit higher. Until I find one, this is what I'm going with. You definitely want this imprint. And for the amulet, we went with essence cost reduction and damage percent, and I like the 3 to amplify on the amulet because you're casting Decrepify a lot. So with amplify damage maxed in your talents, you're getting 18% increased damage on cursed enemies. And the legendary aspect I went with was the corpse tendrils one. Now this is a perfect roll. Gain 30% increased critical strike chance for 6 seconds when you cast Corpse Tendrils. So, as is right now, I have a 40% critical strike chance. So when I use Corpse Tendrils, gain 30%, so I'm up 70% critical strike chance. And you also deal 90% bonus critical strike damage to enemies damaged by Corpse Tendrils. This is huge. Now, you could put this aspect on your weapon and put the weapon aspect on your amulet, vice versa. That's totally up to you. And then for the ring, I'm using a regular ring. It's not even sacred, nothing like that. And the reason I'm using this is for the imprint. Gain 16 of your primary resource for every 25% your life that you heal. I only came across this aspect somewhere once. I haven't found it ever again. I find it great. I find when you're in those sticky situations, you're taking a bit of damage, you're constantly healing, so you're constantly getting resource back. And for the next ring, I went with critical strike chance, critical strike damage with bone skills. Those are 2 of the main things. You'd like to get one a bit better, maybe add vulnerable damage would be nice. But I went with the aspect, skills deal up to 20% increased damage based on your available primary resource when cast. So, the higher your resource, the more damage you will also do. And that's it for the items. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over the skills. Now, I put 1 into bone splinters, 1 into enhanced bone splinters, so we could come down here. I maxed unliving energy. Then I maxed imperfectly balanced. Then I maxed bone spear. Then I took enhanced bone spear. And then I took paranormal bone spear. Now I just put 1 point into this just cause you could put the other point in down here if you wanted to. I put a point into blood mist, enhanced blood mist, and ghastly blood mist to create the corpses. And then I took a point in the corpse explosion and enhanced corpse explosion and blighted corpse explosion. Because on my boots I took the legendary aspect for blood mist to reduce the cooldown. So I just took corpse explosion. Sometimes I switch this out with the blood golem depending on what tier of nightmare dungeons I'm doing. Because the blood golem can come in handy because you can get a 15% damage reduction from him. And then I took Grim Harvest and Fueled by Death. I maxed both of those. Then I maxed Death's Embrace and Death's Reach. Then I maxed Amplified Damage. Then I put 1 into Decrepify and 1 into Enhanced Decrepify. Now, the reason why I took Decrepify is because it causes a slow. And the enhanced version can cause a stun. Now I have the corpse tendrils aspect, which also increases your damage on stunned enemies and slowed enemies. And I also have the glyph that it increases your damage by 10% on slowed enemies and 20% if they're stunned, which I'll go over soon. And then we come down here, put 1 point into corpse tendrils, 1 point into enhanced. And then we took plagued corpse tendrils, just for more vulnerability. You could go with blighted corpse tendrils for chance at blood orbs. It's totally up to you, because bone spears cause vulnerability too. So it's no big deal, whatever you want to do there. Then for the bone talents, we took serration, compound fracture, and evulsion. We maxed all those. Then we come down here and we max standalone. Then we max memento mori. And then we put 1 point into ossified essence. And that's it for the talents. So we'll go over the Paragon board now. Now for the Paragon board, this is just what I've done recently. I haven't gone through a big process of trying to figure out the best way for this, but I will give you guys what I have gone with. So for the first board, we start here, we come up the right, and we go towards the middle, get our glyph. And for the glyph, I used control. So for every point of intelligence, which I got all the ones you could get around here, it increases your damage for the glyph. And then I took some rare nodes on both sides. Then we come up here on the right, we come up this way, and then I took the board with bone graft. Now I did rotate this board, and you kind of want to start here, come over here, and then come up this way, get your rare node. I first worked my way towards my glyph, and then I come back down here and took these other ones. Now these rare nodes here can be pretty important. They definitely help with essence, so you could get these first if you wanted to. And then we work our way up to the glyph, and I put the glyph of essence, which helps with your critical strike damage with core skills. And then I took some more rare nodes just for resistances, maximum life, stuff like that, more bone damage. And then we come down here. Well, I also came back down this way, and I took more maximum life, as you can see. This was something I kind of come down and took after. I first worked my way up towards around this area, and then I come over here and I worked towards my next one, and we took Scent of Death. Now I rotated this board too, I believe, and I just come down here, worked my way towards the glyph, and then I come up here this way, and I took the legendary node. And then I believe I came up this way for more critical strike damage. And then I come back down this way, some more damage nodes. And I also took this rare node for more armor and dexterity. So you might be able to work these glyphs a bit better or change them out. I feel like what I've done so far is pretty good. I'm getting 4 to 5 mil crits in the corpse tendrils. Now what I was talking about for the okay, where is it? I think it's, yeah, it must be this one here. I took the glyph. No, that's for vulnerability. Okay, it was the first glyph I took. Now, so you and your minions deal 10% increased damage to slowed or chilled enemies. Now we took Decrepify. This causes curse the target area. Enemies afflicted by Decrepify are slowed by 40% and deal 20% less damage. So you're getting two things with Decrepify. You're getting a slow, which is going to increase your damage on your glyph, right? So I'm hitting for about 1 million, anywhere from 1 to 1.5 million with just Decrepify on the mobs. So it's a big damage increase, and it's a pretty low essence cost. And with the modifier, lucky hit, enemies hit while afflicted with Decrepify have a 10% chance to be stunned for 2 seconds. So if we come back over here, the second part of the glyph says, or instead 20% increased damage to stunned or frozen enemies. Now, so you get a chance, lucky hit chance with Decrepify for stunned, and we took Corpse Tendrils, which is automatically stunned. So you get a big damage increase from your control glyph. And that's pretty well it for the Paragon board. And that sums up my Bone Necro build. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!